Hello and welcome. I am Lisa and this is my channel Cross by Floss, where I chat about my love of cross stitch as well as life blabbings. If you are new to my channel, welcome and thank you for coming. I know that there are just like seriously so many new Flosstubers in the community in the last few months, which I think is awesome. And if you are returning, and I'm going to talk about quite a few of them at the end, and if you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back again. I know there are just so much content, or there is so much content to watch, and I'm going to be talking about that too later on in the video. Today is February 1st, 2023, and it's been a while since I've done like an actual update video. I know in November I did quite a few of my Nora November update videos, and so you did see me if you watch my channel. And let's see, so much has happened. Oh my gosh, where to start? It just got super busy. I did the Nora November, and then I was going to do some updated videos in December, and we got on the truck to go to Washington. Can I just tell you, so I have stories. If you're not interested in my life blabbings, then please, scroll ahead until you see me holding up projects, because I have so much to show. I have FFOs, people. I have FFOs, and I have an FO, and I have whips, and I have shout outs. I have, oh my gosh, I have, and I have blabbings. So let's do those first, just because they're up here kind of not really fresh. But anywho, in December, we were going back to Washington just before Christmas, so that we could, see the little and visit with my daughter and help out with the little school, kind of at the end of before break, the 2 weeks of break and everything. Well, and we had gifts to bring, right? So I loaded everything up in the truck with Mr. G, and on the road we went, and we got caught in that horrifically horrible storm in Nebraska, which shut down the highway there as well as into Wyoming, and it was horrible. It was horrible. We couldn't go anywhere. Our delivery was in Salt Lake, and we just couldn't go anywhere. And so we weren't gonna, I didn't know where we were going to be at, and we were going to change things on the fly as we had to. And so we ended up being in Nebraska at a truck stop for 2 additional days than we were supposed to. Like, he was doing a overnight, and then they shut down the freeway. I mean, we got lucky getting into the truck stop that we did, because they were announcing that, the highways were being shut down, and luckily we got a spot, and so we were in a nice good place that had food and showers and potties and all the important things to this girl. And but we were down for 2 days, could not go anywhere. The sad thing is I was in Nebraska, and 4 minute drive from the truck stop we were at was a quilt store, a fabric store, and I couldn't get there. I was so sad. Because Mr. G, he couldn't just take we could have gone. I could have got an Uber. Yes, I could have, but it was cold, and I was like, okay, the store might not be great, and so I'm just gonna turn around and call for another Uber, or anyways. And Mr. G couldn't take the trailer off and drive his truck into Main Street, because where was he gonna park? So it didn't happen. I was a little sad, but it's okay. So they opened up the highways really briefly, we managed to get through. Mr. G, you know, he is a workhorse, and he was like, we're going. And so we got into Salt Lake. There were a lot of times on the highway that, like, for real, we were doing 10, 15 miles an hour. It was, I was glad I was not driving. And but that's also another thing, because like I'm kind of a control freak. I'm a horrible passenger, and to that, I'm such a bad passenger. I can't do anything. Like, I get motion sickness, so I can't read, I can't cross stitch, can't crochet, couldn't, you know, sew hexies. He asked me to send a text to his dispatcher and to the lady in the office, and by the time that I was finished doing that, I had to go lay down because I was nauseous. I'm a horrible passenger to be able to do anything. So don't, I mean, I can drive, I can chit chat with you and everything, listen to music. So what I did was I put in my headphones and, you know, watched, listened to documentaries, or yeah, that's kind of what I did. Yeah, so then we get into Salt Lake to do the delivery, and they were like, we're sorry, you know, like obviously everybody's being shut down, and you know, all the trucks are backed up to do loads, and they're like, we can't take you. And so they put our delivery time for an additional 3 days behind. So we were already 5 days behind to do this delivery, through no fault of, you know, I mean, it's weather. But that meant that, you know, we couldn't get another load. We couldn't get into Washington, because that's what we were supposed to do, drop this off, you know, get the load into Washington, you know, visit for a few days, and then get out. So in my head, I was like, hey, that's okay. We will just change our plans and we'll do the delivery into Washington. And if we spend Christmas in Washington, that's okay, right? Like, we'll FaceTime the boys, or, you know, get with the boys that already wrapped their gifts and everything. So everything was ready. And the only thing they weren't going to get was Christmas dinner. And so anyways, I was like, you know, we can do that. Well, as it turned out, Mr. G, also not really his fault, but he did not kind of express to his dispatcher, yes, we still want to get into, you know, Washington. So he sent us back to where we live now. And I was a little devastated, because that meant I was not going to see the little before Christmas. I wasn't going to see my daughter. It was now the third holiday, well, or event, that I wasn't going to see my girls at. I missed my daughter's birthday, I missed Thanksgiving, and now Christmas, and I was just a little beside myself. So we ended up finding a FedEx that I was able to mail the gifts out to, and we got there when they opened at 8:30 in the morning, and there was already like a couple of people ahead of us, and by the time that we were done, there was a huge line of people. Well, of course, I'm practically in tears, because, you know, I'm not doing well, and I was not a happy camper. And but anyways, we got the gifts all posted off, and they got there in plenty of time for Christmas, and we spent Christmas here and had a nice time, and, you know, FaceTimed with the girls, and it was nice. But then that meant that I needed to go back on the truck, because I had really only posted, so we had quite a few gifts, and some of them were uber heavy, and they were for Brendan and my daughter. And so we figured that, you know, they could wait for their gifts, and because they were going to cost so much more to ship. And so we did all of the littles and then some smaller ones for my daughter. And and so we, you know, then that meant that I had to get back on the truck in order to go to Washington to see them, as well as give them their gifts. So I ended up in the truck for almost a month between December and January. I'll tell you what, I would never want to be a truck driver. Like, honestly, would not want to be a truck driver. It is a tough job. It is a tough job, between, you know, getting loads and deliveries in, you know, the sleep schedule, the eating schedule, the going to the bathroom schedule, and I gotta go all the time. Like, I'm a girl. I gotta go. And you know, just dealing with other drivers and the weather and all the things. Kudos to truck drivers, like, for real, kudos to truck drivers, because wow, they do a huge service for us, and they get, it's not a fun job, not a fun job. So anyway, that happened. Then another funny story. Oh my gosh, I'm 11 minutes in. Another funny story. So just after we went to FedEx, then we needed to get some more groceries, because, you know, we'd been down and we'd been eating things, and we'd been down. And so there was a Winco in the same parking lot. And so we go on in there and we walk around, we get all our groceries, and shockingly, it was not that busy. I was really surprised. Again, it was also 9 o'clock in the morning. And so we get all our groceries, and we're, you know, got the cart and everything. And I said to Mr. G, just hang on. I'm going to go over to the seasonal candy stuff, because I was looking for specific popcorn. You guys, have you had, they probably don't have it right now because it's seasonal, but it was white chocolate peppermint skinny popcorn. Oh, it's so good. And I had been, you know, I only bought one bag because they're expensive, and you never know what the seasonal flavors are going to taste like, right? So I had it, and I've never been able to find it again. So I was like, I'm going to go and have a look and see if they have that. And in the meantime, I look for some other stuff. So I'm coming back to the registers, right, with kind of a bunch of stuff. Again, remember, I'm not in my right mind. I'm not seeing my girls. I'm a little sad, and I'm not really paying attention. And when I come up to our cash register, and there's a gentleman behind us that just has like a couple of bags of candy and a couple of gift cards. And I looked at him and I said, is that all you have? And he is like, yeah. And I'm like, you're more than welcome to go ahead of us, because we had a cart full, right? And he was like, no, that's totally okay. It's totally fine. And I was like, no, totally, please go ahead of us. And I start walking over to Mr. G, and I was about to put my hand on his arm, and I look up into his face, and I'm like, you're not him. I was inviting a clear stranger to go in front of another stranger's. We were one cashier down, and Mr. G is killing himself laughing. And he's like, oh, babe, over here. And I'm like, okay, in my defense, I was not really paying attention, right? Again, remember, not all there. And the guy looked exactly like Mr. G, like the bald head, the same dark coat on, the same, you know, and the grocery cart looked about the same, you know, because you do a visual check, right? I am never living it down, never living it down. I made those guys' day. They were killing themselves laughing. It was pretty awesome. What else happened? I got a ton of stitching done though while we were down, because what else was I gonna do, right? So that's where I got my finishes. And so that was pretty exciting. I did get that done. And while I was on the road, I get a call from my son, and he is like, Odin's not doing well. And in fact, Odin's not even here. He's in my bedroom sleeping. He's struggling. He's not having the best time. And so my son, you know, he was like, Odin's had like 5 seizures within a very short amount of time. And I said, I think it's probably time for you to go to the emergency vet, you know. So he did, took him there, and he calls me up and he is like, I'm so sorry, Mom. It's going to be so expensive. And, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't care. Like, I don't care. Let's, you know, figure out, let them run their tests, do the things that they need to, observe him. And so they kept him for 12 hours, observed him. and we're now just on a different cocktail of meds. And but he's getting old. It's getting hard for him to get up and down and up and down, and so he chooses now to, wherever I am, if I'm there for a little while, he's just gonna stay put. So and I moved and he didn't, so he might come in a little while, but he's doing fine. He is doing fine. He's just getting old. And yeah. All right. Is that all I want to talk about? I think that that's good for life blabbings, right? I'm home. We made it home for my son's birthday, my oldest son's birthday. We were here for my youngest son's birthday, so we were able to celebrate with both boys. And yeah, it was just really nice. And you know, Mr. G and I probably spent more time together in between December and January than we'd spent in our whole entire relationship, I think. You know, being in such close quarters 24/7, there's nowhere to go in a truck. Yeah, it's a good thing we like each other. So, okay. I have finishes. How about we go to finishes? This is the part that I'm now going to start talking about cross stitch after 16 minutes of stuff. All right, so these are previous finishes, and I found a shop in town here that has quite a few crafty ladies in it who all sew and do wonderful things. And so I brought in a couple of pieces that I'd had previously finished to show them what I would like. And unfortunately, the lady didn't, like, we had a very brief conversation about the pieces, but and she did a beautiful job, but I now know when I go back to have finishes done that I will need to be a little more specific in how I would like things done. She did a lovely job though, and I am super happy, and it was so cheap. Oh my gosh, it was so cheap. It was wonderful. Okay, so let me show you the finishes that she did. So several of them, I said, you know, I wanted them in pillow types, and she stuffed them really nicely. I provided some fabric from the fabric store that was in there, so I bought some fat quarters, and you know, said, I think that this would look good with this would look good with this, and she actually found and used all of the things. And then I said, you know, if you have trim or some other things, you know, to add to them, that would be awesome. And so she did. So the very first one is this chart here, and this is a chart from the Heart Needle Art, Wendy, and so she made it into a nice this is a fat stuffed pillow, and so this is pretty cute, like that one. And then I'm not going to remember where all of these are from. I think that this is a Lizzie Kate. I don't remember, but give thanks. So she again made this into a nice biggie stuffed pillow. You know, okay, so every pillow is done like this because that was the example that I gave her. And if we had had more of a discussion, I just would have liked them to just be pillows, right? But it's totally fine. And then she backed it. Like, how cute is this fabric? Looks so good. I did good putting, like, I just picked a few things and went, oh, I think that these will look good with it. And she made it look good. So she added this fabric in here. Yeah, nice. Okay, this one, oh man. I wish I could remember what these were. That's awful. I mean, I've talked about all of these finishes in previous videos, but now they're fully finished. So this was another one. And of course, I don't have any of these charts anymore because I gave them away, but nicely stuffed pillow. And then this is the last pillow. And this is the Remember Me, and this was a Blackbird design. And she made that one into a really pretty pillow, nicely stuffed, and put some lace around here. That's really pretty. And then I had some ornaments, and I said, you know, I'd like them to be ornaments for my tree. And so, and I think that these two might be, I know for sure that this is Prairie Schooler. Oh, and look at that, I have a hair. So she made that one into a pillow. How pretty is this fabric? And then she put this trim around here and hung a cord so I could put it either on a doorknob or on my tree. These are fairly big for me, but for a tree ornament, but yeah, that's totally okay. Or they can sit in a dough bowl, you know, just put the cord down and just sit in a dough bowl. Super cute. I also want to say that this is a Prairie Schooler, but don't quote me on that. It might not be. So this was another one. She did all three of them exactly the same, with the same fabric, same pretty trim, lacy trim. Oh, she did such a nice job. And then this one, I want to say is a Sue Hillis. Is that right? Bah Humbug. And it came out of a book. It came out of like a, you know, a book that had several different Christmas designs in it. And so she did that one too. So how exciting is that? I was just, she did beautiful work. And you know, for future finishes, I am going to go back to her, but have more of a discussion on kind of what I would like my finishes, whether they're flat folds or pillows that don't have, you know, all of the fabric around them, and just do some, you know, pillows that are pillows. And but she does lovely work, and so I was pretty excited to have that done. So now my FFO, those were my FFOs. Now I have a couple of FOs. I'm so excited about them. Like I said, I had time on the truck, and so I did a lot of stitching. I even read. I brought some books, and I read 2 books. I was really excited. In 2 trips. I mean, 2 books, 2 trips. But I was pretty excited about it. All right, so one of them that I finished was this La-Di-Da chart, Live, Laugh, Love. It's finally finished. I've been working on it for a while. I don't even know when I started it. Let's see, I've never put a thing in there on when I started it, but I want to say it was in 2021. Pretty sure. And this, let's see here. There is, oh, there's the finish. I am so thrilled. Look at this. Oh my gosh. This is done in Gloriani silks, and the called for Gloriani silks. And this is done on, I want to say it's a 16 count coffee tea baked piece of fabric. And I think that it's like the, this is what I did Cordelia on, my, table skirt witch, also by La-Di-Da. And yeah, and so it was very rough. I was very afraid when I was putting the silks in that maybe it would make them fray or whatever. It did not. They worked awesome. That was so much fun. So that was finish number 1. Finish number 2, and oh, so very close to finish number 3, are these little charts that I bought when I was at a retreat in Montana. The NW Prim Stitchers, I think was the name of the group, and went to the retreat back in, I think it was August. No, September, right? I don't even know when. But anyways, Wendy Petras, the designer behind From the Heart Needle Art, was there with her trunk show, and so I purchased many of her charts. So the very first one was this January floral postcard. I bought the whole year of postcard series, and want to get them all done. So Okay, there it is. January's is all done. So I did this on a 14 count perforated paper that I made look as vintagey as I could. Now I have a spray, vintage spray that I think I'm going to put on here and see what happens. They were quick stitches, so you know, if it gets ruined, it gets ruined. But I tried to make this as oldish, you know, like a postcard that had been pushed through the mail several times and had been handled many times. And anyways, there was a lot of trial and error to get this done. I ruined a few pieces trying to figure out how to make it crinkly and aged looking. Anyways, I think it turned out really, really nice. Now, because I did distress and make the paper look, you know, have this kind of color in it, which was not a dye. And it's not coffee tea dyed or anything like that. But this kind of blends in a little bit with it, you know, like here you don't really see this come out. And I did think when I was stitching them that maybe using a different color, but I like it. And then I also thought again with the vintage, you know, spray, just to spray it lightly over top and see what happens with the colors. So not quite there yet, and if I do that and make that change, then I will show that to you later. The second one I did was February. So this one was January. So February is almost done. It's not quite an FO because I still have to do the back stitching in the flowers and the leaves, but for the most part, it is almost done. I'm sorry, I should have had these taken out of the bags. This is February's. And that's what it looks like. So yeah, it just needs some of the back stitching in the flowers and in the leaves. And then this one is also good. But as you can see, I also antique this a little to make it look as aged as possible. And I think for each one of these, I'm just going to do like a flat foldish type finish, possibly. I don't know. So those were my 2 FOs, an almost FO. I was hoping I would get it done before this video. It did not happen. Plus, I really wanted to kind of antique it, and I did not also get that done. It's okay. The other piece I worked on the road was this Little House Needleworks Spot of Coffee. Now, Spot of Coffee I did for myself a year and a half ago, maybe. And I was doing this spot of tea. So inside this chart, inside the pattern has 2 different charts, 1 spot of coffee and then 1 spot of tea. And I am doing the tea one for my mom because she drinks tea and I drink coffee. And so I did quite a bit of work on this one. Let's show it, you know, face up. And that's what that one looks like currently. Is that a needle in the thread? No, there we go. So, you know, just finishing up, you just need to finish up the windows. And there's some more wording and then put in some of the color. And this one is almost done too. I know, I'm pretty impressed with myself. So these were the things that I worked on in the truck while I was on the road with Mr. G, because this one I can work in hand. It was really, really easy to work in hand. I just rolled it up and worked in the spaces where I needed to. The fabric's super flimsy. I have no idea what this is. It's a piece of mystery fabric that I got in some stash unload maybe. And so, yeah, so those were fairly easy. The perforated paper was so easy to work on in the truck. I did not put it in a, you know, one of those frames that you can tack down. The pieces aren't big enough for me to do that. If I was going to do a sampler or something a little bit more involved, yes, I'm going to use the, I thought I had some here. Anyways, they're like, frames, and then you tack down, and people use them for canvas or needlepoint. And so, yeah. But I didn't need to do that because all 4 of those pieces I worked in hand. I'm so sorry for the lighting. Yeah. We're just not going to go into it. It's fine. The sun's going down. Okay. That is that. Now, some of the other things I worked on was I pulled out, so for 2023, I did a video that I talked about my plans for 2023, and that once a month I was going to do my version of 24-hour acrostic, where I will take 4 days, so 6 hours each day, and I would pull out 12 whips. Yes, 12 whips for that 24 hours and work on them for 2 hours each whip. And so I decided not to do a whip parade because with the move from last year and all of the traveling that we were doing and all of that, plus my Queen of Peace, which I will have a new video for the Queen of Peace, my update video that I will have here pretty soon in the next day or so. So anyways, that was going to be my version of acrostic. Well, I did do one for January, but I did not get the 24 hours in there. There was a little bit of, well, Odin had a few seizures, and then Mr. G came home, and my time just got a little bit more messed up than I thought it was going to, and that's totally okay. But I did get a few pieces out for my 24-hour acrostic and did get some time in them. So one of them is this piece here, the Prairie Schooler. And I the whole reason why I want to do my version of 24-hour acrostic, I know that Jen Lee, what is her name? I don't remember what her Flosstube name is or her Instagram name. Oh, that's awful. Anyways, she does a 24-hour acrostic, and it's very specific. And I decided to do a 24-hour acrostic for myself, so that I could take out and work on the whips that I had, as during last year, so many of my whips never got worked on. And so if I was going to do a whip parade, all you were going to see was whips that I'd already had with nothing done on them. And a lot of starts, yes, but I will do a whip parade later on, either in the year or at the end of the year. And so there will be progress on every whip I have at that point. So that'll be fun. It's going to be big. I have a lot of whips, and I keep adding, and I'm fine with it. Anyways, the first one that I worked on was, what's her name? Night Flight. And so I got some stitches on that. So the last time you saw this, I think, what did I have done here? I know I've added the witch. I did more in the moon here. Added the orange. I worked 2 hours on this and got that in there. So that was the first one I did. The second one I worked on, let's see here, was this one here, which is Misfortune. Also the Prairie Schooler. I love these patterns. And why I have not done anything on them, yeah, I don't know. But that one I pulled out, and that's what I got done on this one. What did I get done on this one? I don't remember. I know I worked 2 hours on this though. Maybe I was working along in here. Like, I know I got the frame done, but maybe I was doing this, or maybe I got this done. I don't remember. But anyways, I worked 2 hours on this. I have 3 patterns on here. I also have Knock Knock on here. There's nothing done on that though. There it is there. But I have 3 of the patterns on here, on this piece of fabric. And then when I'm done, I'll just cut them and mount them in something. I don't know how yet. I haven't got that far because they are so not done. But that's what I worked on for 24-hour cross-stitch. 2 charts. I feel like I did something else, but I don't remember what. So that's that. Okay, what else did I work on? I have quite a few whips. Oh, this one too, duh. I pulled Blackbird Designs chart out. I pulled this one out. Midnight Watch. And this is also on super rough fabric. And I worked some more in the border. This is on another of that, I think that this is 16 count Ada Coffee, Tea, and Baked. Ada. And then I'm using am I using the DMC? I think I'm using DMCs. Yes, I am using the called for DMCs in the chart, not the fancy flosses. So I did that one as well, which kind of fell into Sunday sampler stitching also, sort of. So I worked 2 hours on that. Then on Sunday, I want to do, or I said in my video that I would be trying to pull out a sampler from my stash and do sampler Sunday stitching. And so I did that one Sunday and did the Plum Street samplers, and this is the Praise sampler, and it's, you know, an older chart. You know that they're old when they have the picture on the front. And but this one is absolutely gorgeous. Look at this sampler. It's beautiful. The colors are just so beautiful. So I pulled that one out. Let's see. And this is, let's see if I know what fabric I'm working on. I don't. Oh yes, I do. It is of the Stitch Me fabric of the month with no name. It was November 2020's fabric of the month, but there's no name. So that is what I got. I had started the border, but then for Sampler Sunday, I got in the alphabet. So what you see for the alphabet, that's what I did. And oh my gosh, these colors are just so pretty. So that was fun. So that's what I got done on that one. This is such an awesome sampler color fabric. I love it. I love it. And if you follow me, you know that I have a huge love of Paulette's samplers, and I think that this one has some 1/1. It does. It's got some 1/1, and then it also has a specialty stitch in it. Though she said that it was good for. Did she say it was good for? No, she didn't. No, she does. She does have the stitch count is 14, 28, 16, 32, 18, 36, and 20, 40. So I guess she did think that it could go on Ada, which is totally fine. It has satin stitch. Satin stitch, the sawtooth dividing bands. So there's some specialty stitches in there. It's okay. I'm up for it. We'll see if I'm up for it. We'll see. But I love Paulette Stewart's Plum Street sampler designs, and have a lot of them. Okay, what's next? I have a few Mirabilias that I worked on for Mirabilia Monday stitching, Mira Monday stitching, which is a hashtag on Instagram that I host or put together, and lots of people are joining in, which thank you so much. It is so fun to see people's progress on their Miras, and it's not exclusive to Miras. Like Nora Corbett is the designer of Miras and Nora's, so you know, I just Mira Monday stitching just sounded catchier than and so if you have a Nora or a Mira that you want to work on Mondays and would like to post to that hashtag Mira Monday stitching, love to see what you're working on, and everybody in that hashtag is so very complimentary, and it's fun to see all the work done. So for the past few Mondays in January, I pulled out Fairy Flora. Oh, I love Fairy Flora. I really do. She is pretty. Not in love with the fabric I'm doing it on. It's, you know, that stiff Ada from back in the day. And it's so funny because there's just so many gorgeous fabrics to choose from, and I just pulled this out of my stash. But that is what I've gotten done so far. And yeah, I did a lot of work in, you know, shading in all of these areas, getting the leaves in, filling up more of her dress in here. Oh my gosh, I just love her. And I think that this is done on a touch, is it a touch of gray? I don't see, I think it's either just gray or a touch of gray. Ada fabric, not fantastic, but it is, it's crunchy and it's stiff, and I do work it in a Q-snap and stitch two-handed, which is fun, so that makes it go. And what's really nice about her is that she's got nice chunks of color to work on, and so I'm going to keep her out for this week, the week of February 1st, for Fancy Lady Stitching that Dawn Marie, who is DM's Crafty Vortex, on Flosstube as well as Instagram, and then Anna, her friend Anna, who is also in her videos. And I'm sorry, Anna, I don't, or Anna, I'm not sure what her, I will link it below though, when I get there. But the two of them are doing Fancy Lady February. That is a hashtag on Instagram, and Dawn Marie is going to be doing some vlog style videos for the week, and so I can't wait to see what she does. But I'm going to keep this one out to do Fancy Lady Stitching. Fancy Lady Stitching. Fancy Lady February, goodness, is the hashtag. So I'm going to keep her out. And then with Amy, Fiber Arts Amy, I have been working on this one. We try and get together weekly and put some stitches in her. And this one is Garden Beauty. I love her. I have a counting error somewhere though. Oh goodness. I don't know what I've done. It's still in there, so you're gonna see some floss just hanging out. That's okay, it's okay. But that's where I am on her. Oh my goodness, I love her so much. I have a counting error in here. I don't know what I've done, and so I need to take some time and figure that out before our next stitchy session, and because I keep trying to work on blocks of color and get this done. This is being worked on, what is this? It is a 16 count. I don't know. Color and cotton. 16 count color and cotton pearwood. And that was a fabric of the month piece from July 2020. And it is lovely to stitch on. I love it, love it, love it. And that also goes in a Q-snap and a 2-hand stitch, this one. And I love working on that. Okay, two more, you guys. Let's see here. Get these down. All right, what is this one? This one is also a la-di-da. This, I must have done this one also for 24-hour, my version of 24-hour stitching, and did 2 hours of work in here. So this is la-di-da, and it is, this is the day. And the verse on here says, "This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it." And she's a cutie. She's super cute. And her color is also spectacular. Love them. And this is also done on a crunchy piece of Aida. Let's see here, put her on here. And so when you last saw this, I had this part of the border done up to about here, and then I had done half stitches along here. And so in my 2 hours, I finished up this here, finished all of the stitching, crossed my X's from probably here on, and then put in the rest here and the T for this. And that's what I got done in those 2 hours. Not a heck of a whole lot, but stitches are stitches, right? And this is, I want to say it's just like a piece of fabric. It is. It's 18 count ivory artiste Aida from Hobby Lobby. You know, back when they actually like let you use coupons and stuff, they don't have coupons anymore. Does anybody know that? And it doesn't seem like their needlework goes on sale. So I don't buy my fabric there anymore, but when it was, 40% off, yeah. But then the other thing is it's stiff and crunchy, and it's not the funnest to work on, but it is, oh, I have hair, 18 count, and yeah, so, and it's just a nice neutral, especially with the nice colors that are in that chart. And I am using the called for DMCs. And the last piece that I've been working on, now this is my coffee stitching. So every morning after I take Mr. Odin out to go potty, I sit down and I have my first cup of flavored water, because I actually don't drink coffee. So my first cup of flavored water, and I get some stitching in. And so it's kind of like a version of, what is it, 25/7, that you put either 25 minutes or 25 stitches 7 days a week. So I do a little more than that, but it gets me working on something each and every time. And I should have showed you the chart first, huh? It is, well, I've got part 2 here. It is Margaret Cottam, age 9. And it is another la-di-da. Can you tell that I also like la-di-da? Really like her. This was a mystery sampler, and it was done in 3 parts. It is hard to find, I think, and it's, I think it was retired, like after the Sal was done. The 3-part Sal, I guess, was what it was back in the day. I don't know, but anyways, so I got part 1 completely done just recently too. And so it's been exciting because most mornings I do at least 2 cups of coffee of stitching in here. Most of the time my cups get cold, and when I get up to reheat and start again. And so I probably get maybe an hour of time in each morning, I think. And so yeah, I'm so thrilled. Part 1 is all done, and I'm now working into part 2. So really all this kind of here is part 2 and coming down. So I working here, I have a counting error right here. Each one of these should be 15. I have 13 for some reason on this one. And so I need to take this little part out. Thankfully, it's not very much, but I need to take this little part out and start again. But that was a problem for another day. And I just continued on where it was easy. And because that's what I like to do. But yeah, I'm so happy with this one too. So happy. And this is done on, let's see, what is this one done on? This one is done on a Be Stitch Me piece of 18 count honey. I love Be Stitch Me fabrics. I am now I've been in her club for years and have a lovely stash. Started out with 16s, went to 18s, and now I'm in the 20 count Aida club because I only work on Aida fabric. I don't find it a hindrance. You know, people ask me, you know, because I can't do 1/1, obviously, if you're doing samplers, but the lovely thing is many designers are now accommodating for Aida stitching. Some patterns they don't, which is, you know, that's okay. But I can see the Aida, and for me, it's just easier to work on. I've tried even weave and Lugana and Monaco and some linen type. Well, I guess the others were linen types, but they're linens. And I just, either my stitches slip, I can't count over, like my brain obviously and my eyes cannot process all of that. And so I can't do it. That's okay though. All right, so that were my FFOs, and my whips, my works in progress. Look at me go. Okay, you guys, I had a phenomenal amount of haul because, again, while you're in the truck, I could shop. I did a lot of shopping. I did a lot of purchasing. But I mean, if I did a haul video, we would be here for probably 3 days. It was disgusting. In fact, my son texted me and went, "Lady," he's like, "What are all the packages for?" Some of them were because of Christmas, because we, you know, we're on the road, and now Christmas was kind of like a little not as planned. And while I was in Washington, I planned on shopping for the boys, you know, because we do Christmas Eve jammies and all the things, right? And some other like little things. Well, there was nowhere to shop. And so I, you know, Amazon was my shopping for Christmas for the boys, mostly, like all the extras, their big presents and everything were all done. So some of the things legitimately were like their gifts, but there was also a lot of like things that I bought because as Mr. G said, he felt so bad. He felt so bad that we weren't going to see the girls. And I think that like if I'd asked him for the moon, he would have given it to me. Like he just felt so bad. And so I did quite a bit of retail therapy. And there is nothing wrong with that, but I'm not going to be able to pull it all out because, frankly, there's a lot of it. So I'm breaking the rules of Flosstube, and I am going to not show you my haul, but I'm going to use it. So that's the way it goes. Sorry. But I did get, like, you know, my fabrics of the month. I got my bags of the month from Garon Toten. I made some purchases on eBay and Etsy. What else? I bought some things from Fat Quarter Shop. I got some out of print Miras, and at some point I will do like a Mira, maybe a Mira video where I have maybe before Mira May or maybe during Mira May. I don't know. We'll see. But I do have quite a few new Mira, well, new to me Miras that are not new. They're retired or out of print OOPs. Anyway, I bought floss. Like I got a lot of stuff, but and if there's anything that, you know, I'm gonna call out, I might do that in the next video. So stay tuned, it'll come. But now I want to go to Flosstubers. So while we were on the road, I watched a phenomenal amount of YouTube Flosstube biographies, crime shows. Yeah, I listened to the crime and the biographies, and then like a couple of books on tape. But while we were down, and I could like actually watch people while I was stitching, I watched a phenomenal amount of new YouTubers. Now, some of these people are new to me because they have quite a few videos, and where was I? And then some of them are like new and just new to the Flosstube scene. And I think that it is wonderful. I really want to say how great our Flosstube community is. We as a community are, I think, very welcoming and inclusive to new stitchers and old stitchers, like all stitchers, all crafters. And you know, I've been a part of many different groups in my 50-ish some odd years of life, and I have to say that the cross stitch community is bar none like some of the best people. And that's not to say that other groups aren't. There's always, but this one, there's just no drama, and there's no, like, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. And I love the cross stitch community and have made many friends within the cross stitch community, and people that I love to call my friends. And maybe some of them don't know that they're my friends because I'm stalking them, but whatever, it doesn't matter. But it's a wonderful community, and it's nice to see new Flosstubers coming almost daily, and to be able to watch. Now, one of the things that I don't always understand is like how some people blow up, and others, you know, who have many videos and don't, like, they're still in the under 1,000 sub club, you know, and I don't understand that. So I don't know what the algorithm is or how that happens, or like I don't know. But I would like to shout out, and I have quite a long list, so bear with me, and hopefully you like them, and go watch them. Like, go give people a try. I do have a very extensive list of Flosstubers that I watch as soon as they post a video, or as close to them posting a video as possible. I do have a very long list of people who I watch. But I think that there's always room for more. I watch Flosstubers while I'm stitching. I listen to them maybe in the car if I'm doing a long trip. You know, I just find time within my day. Sometimes, you know, while I'm cooking dinner, I'll put on a Flosstube video just to keep me company. I just find time to watch. And with all the new whip parades and things, oh my goodness, there's so much enabling happening. It's great. Okay, on to the Flosstubers. And I will link them down below, but it may take me a few days. I'm going to do my best. Okay. Alicia, the fanciful flamingo. She popped up on the scene a little while ago. I can't remember how many videos she has. I think she does it also weekly, or maybe she's every 2 weeks. I'm not sure. Anyways, I love when her videos, her sense of humor is so funny. Um, and I enjoy her wit and the projects that she shows. She's very funny, very colorful, like her a lot. And because I started watching her, she watches Teresa, the garden goose stitcher. So I was like, oh, I should go check her out. And also very funny, very funny. Really enjoy both those ladies' videos. If you're looking for, you know, a good laugh, and I do find myself laughing several times while they are doing their videos, they're wonderful, wonderful Flosstubers to watch. The next one, which I don't know where I've been because they have had many videos, which is Missy and Kathy from Two Needles Pulling Thread. I don't know where I've been. I've never seen them. And they actually came in my recommended list one day, and I was like, and I had watched one of their at that time a newer video, and I loved it, and so I went back and I have binge watched every single one of their videos. And they just posted one like a couple of days ago, a whip parade. Gotta go watch. That was pretty awesome. The next one that where have I been? The Bougie Stitchers. The Bougie Stitchers. They are sisters. Penny and Nancy. I don't know where have I been? Hilarious. I again also love watching them. Now I'm not going to go into, because I do have a long list, I'm not going to go into the reasons why or how many videos unless I remember them. But you know, anybody that I'm shouting out, obviously I liked and want to watch, and think that you might find some time to watch them too. Haley, the Peregrine Stitcher. She's also new to me, though she's got several videos, I think. She does a nice collection of stitching, and so it's really nice watching her as well. She's very calm, very, very calm. The next one, and this is where I don't understand. Susan, who is criminally creative. So how did I find her? I think with a whip parade. Because what I did was I just typed in whip parade 2022 or whip parade 2021 or whip parade 2023, depending on what I wanted to watch, right? And she came up because of that. That's how I found her. Now, Susan has a ton of videos because she started YouTube as a knitter. And so she's got a lot of knitting videos before she got back into cross stitch. And she does patterns on Ravelry and all the things. Okay, but the interesting thing about her videos is that she works in some sort of justice system. And I'm sorry, Susan, I did watch you, and I do know, but in my head now I can't remember because words are hard. But she does like these, like the verdicts, like her finishes, and like all of the things are like justice based, and I love it. It's awesome. And so she started cross stitching, like she picked it up in 2021, I want to say, I think something like that, and she came back to cross stitching. So her videos do have cross stitch and knitting, and so if you're not interested in the knitting or you're not interested in cross stitch, you can always fast forward. But I love seeing her projects. She does a lot of the things that I like, and so she was fun to watch. And I think if you're looking to see when she started cross stitch videos, I want to say it was like video 20, 21 or 22, somewhere in there, that she started showing cross stitch pieces. The next one is Laurel. I'm a Stitch Nerd. love Laurel. She's very soft-spoken, and she is a quilter as well. And so she's always got a pretty quilt behind her. But she's funny. What was I going to say about her? She's very soft-spoken, and so she's very nice and calm. Just put her passion for her cross stitch and her quilting. I love it. So she's fun. Lourdes, love to boogie, love to stitch. Now I've watched Lourdes for a while, and I have not shouted her out. Like, I found her back in October, November, maybe. And so she's very tech savvy, and so her, you know, she will show you like picture in picture of her stitch. It's fun. Go watch her. I really appreciate watching her. Dina, the Nightly Stitcher. Oh my word. Okay, Dina is fantastic. She does a lot of like samplers, and she lives in an old house, and which I love, and she collects antiques, and she's got a lot of antiques and like all the things. She's also a quilter as well, and she has quite a few videos out, and they're nice and long, and she's got puppies and she's got birds and things are happening in her videos. I love them. I love them. It is a lot of fun. I love watching Dina. Liz and Shelly, who are the antique needleworkers, they are brand new to Flosstube. They just have the one video out, at least what I saw, like, and they started a couple weeks ago, so beginning of January, maybe. And oh my goodness, they are filming their videos in a mill, an old mill, and it's beautiful. There's just, and the banter back and forth with each other, so fun. Heather, the 20-minute stitcher, I think she's got a few videos. I think so. What I like about her is that she started her Flosstube as she only gets like 20 minutes of time to stitch. And she explains in her videos that she does it between the time her daughter gets on the bus to school to the time that she has to wake up her son to go to school. And so she's got 20 minutes of time to stitch in there. And she doesn't have a whole lot of time to devote to stitching on a daily basis, you know, so she does it here and there. And what she does within 20 minutes, you know, it all adds up. Stitching all adds up. Well, then she carried it over to her Flosstube videos, that she tries to keep her Flosstubes around the 20-minute mark. And I would say 95% of them are around that 20-minute mark. Some of them, you know, like a whip parade would be a little more, or something that she is, you know, got more haul of whatever, might be a little bit longer. But it's nice because in 20 minutes, you can watch a full video, you know, like for me, when I am, you know, chopping up veggies or making Odin's food, you know, 20 minutes to chop up all the veggies and everything, and I can get a video in. And so it's fun. So she was a great one to watch. Another one, oh my gosh, again, where have I been? Angie and Penny, the two eclectic stitchers, they are friends. They only have like they have 6 or 7 videos now, I think, at this point, and they are so much fun. And I think that they became friends because they found each other at a quilting. Was it quilting? They both quilt too, and you know, multi-talented. Everybody's so multi-talented. Okay, Nancy, the disorderly stitcher. Again, another one who is so fun to watch. Her sense of humor is just, I love watching Nancy. And when Nancy has a video, I am like, I'm watching this right now. She's fun to watch. She always has quite a good haul. She does quilting as well. She's a teacher in the Pennsylvania area, I think. And And, you know, my hat's off to her as a teacher. Again, another job I would not want to do. Yep. I mean, I'm the mom of 4 children, and I was real happy that they went to school and really grateful for the teachers. So thank you, Nancy. Okay, another one that I watch is Sarah's Stitchy Spot, and I have to tell you, I love Sarah. Her love of cross stitch and the craft is just exudes through the screen, and her energy and her vibe is just like, you want to be around her. Like, legit, you would want to be around this lady. But the fun thing about her too is that her husband so supports her craft. Mr. G does mine as well, but her husband wrote a song as her intro, and it's phenomenal. Like, their talent is just incredible between the two of them, and she stitches mirrors and samplers and you know, like older charts, you know, just, oh my gosh, go watch her. But her love of the cross stitch community as well as cross stitching as a craft, it's just, highly recommend Sarah. And then the last one, let me just double check my list here and make sure that I got everybody. The last one on my list that I watched was Laura and Liz, who are 2 grateful stitchers. And they also are friends. And they do these videos together. They're phenomenal. Their friendship is enviable. Like, they just are so, yeah, you can tell that they, you know, really like each other. and that, I mean, it's so fun watching them. And I also look forward to, so I had found them, I think, also as a, it was a recommended video, and so I watched that recent video that popped up, and I also went back and binge watched all of their videos within a couple of days. Like, just phenomenal. Okay, so that is my list. Oh my gosh, this video is probably a lot longer than I thought without haul. Okay, what are my plans? So I will be doing a Mirabilia Queen of Peace update video. I will get that done and have that uploaded within the next couple of days. I'm going to continue on, well, it is February, so I will have a 24-hour my version acrostic for this month. January was supposed to be like, I was gonna do focus on a designer kind of thing, and I had, you know, designers by every month, and Kathy Barrick was my January. I did know Kathy Barrick. I've already failed. Whatever, it doesn't matter, because there's no cross stitch police and it's just me, and it, like, I can beat myself up, so it's fine. Nobody needs to beat me up. I do it all by myself. And so, okay, that's already gone by the wayside, and really I probably am not going to get back there, but the 24-hour acrostic I'm going to continue trying to do, because I do want to get some progress on my previous whips that I just did not touch in 2022. They just, seriously, there was probably about 50 whips and not any of them got any stitching in, so that's not okay. And I certainly am not going to show you something that, you know, you haven't seen, so, or it has nothing in. So that 24-hour acrostic in February will happen. We'll see how many charts I get out, because I think, what did I do, like 4 for January when I should have done 12. It's okay. What else am I doing? Sunday stitching, Sunday sampler stitching, still going to continue doing, because that is, I do have a lot of samplers going, and I have some that are really close to, like, almost being done. And so hopefully within, you know, a couple hours, I should hopefully be able to get some good progress on several of them. So sampler stitching, Mirabilia Monday stitching, always going to be happening. And for the month of February, I'm not sure what I'll pull out, but maybe something new, I don't know. I also have Fancy Lady February stitching that I am going to do, and I have a couple that I've kitted up, or actually have already had kitted up. And I'm excited to get some stitches in on those. Probably week 2 and 3 of February will be New Start Ladies, Fancy Lady February, that Dawn Marie and Anna of DM's Crafty Vortex is hosting. What else will I be doing? And then just, you know, my Margaret Cottam, age 9. I will continue her part 2 as my coffee stitching. I will be going back to Washington to see the little, because she's on winter break, second winter break, for February, and so I'll be helping out my daughter and the boy, so that somebody's around for her and the dogs. And what else? So I will be taking Queen of Peace with me because I can work on that there. I will be taking a couple other pieces, I'm not sure what, and I might even do an update video there. We'll see how it all goes. We have some other things up in the air that Mr. G just got a new job, a new company he's going to be working for. So in February, late February, there's some chaos going on there to, you know, get him ready to start that in March. There's never a dull moment here. Never a dull moment. What else will I be doing? I just, you know, random. I'm just gonna be pulling out some things and putting stitches in, and yeah. So, and I hope to be back in 2 weeks for a regular type video. Like I said, Queen of Peace, I will have an update video for that. And other than that, I hope you are all doing well. I hope you all enjoy what you are doing on your crafts, whether it be quilting, knitting, crocheting, cross-stitching, scrapbooking, whatever it is that you choose to do, and that you're enjoying that. And I hope to see you in my next video, and until then, hugs and stitches.